this used to bother me a lot. I used to get really upset. Somebody would come into my office. This is me putting the financial advisor hat on.
Yep.
And I've been in sales my whole life, but they would come in, I could, excuse me, mathematically show them like, hey, first and foremost, I'm saving you money. I'm mathematically proving that I can, achieve your goals. Um, I'm younger than your current advisor. I'm more ambitious than your current advisor. I'm going to be with you and listen to you. And I'm not stuck in these ways. And I have all this, like, I'm awesome. I sit there and, how do you convey that? Like, I know I can help this person. I know
Yep.
they need my help, but then for whatever reason, something doesn't work and they continue to have that relationship with, their old professional and that stuff. It wasn't that, um, I necessarily didn't get the sale because, in at least the way I was doing it, I had enough business that, any new client is just a benefit, right? I was just more upset that I tried to help somebody and I got so angry and pissed off that, they didn't go with me. I was like, I could help you. And you walked out the door. What is wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
annoyed me.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's really a function. What you're describing is how heavily do you believe in the thing that you're presenting and offering, and how clear is it to you that it's the right decision for them to make this decision and make this move, and how come they don't see that every single time? Clearly they see it a lot of the time. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the successful place you're at, and how we wouldn't have been successful at Eat Blue and UGrub, but they don't see it every time. And you're trying to figure out like what is, and so we would spend a lot of time on rebuttal books. We love the rebuttal books. We'd be like, okay, like what might they say,
The
that would,
Rolodex,
yeah,
right?
they could say something like, hey, I got to talk to my business partner, or hey, like, I've tried something like this in the past and it didn't work, or I don't know about this internet, and this was the time that we were selling Eat Blue, like, hey, I want something physical I can hold, like, I don't know what's going on with this whole internet thing you're talking about, but like we would, because that like energy and that frustration that you're describing, we would kind of channel that into like we're going to crack the code on this thing. Like, you tell me all the reasons why someone might leave that room without buying into what we're doing, and let's be prepared to counter every one of those rebuttals. And obviously it still doesn't always work that way, but that's kind of how you channel that energy. And if you can find something that you want to sell, that you're as passionate about as what you just described, that you just can't understand why the person across the table from you wouldn't buy this or join you, then you're kind of in the right job and in the right business for you, because you have that, bring that energy to it. And it doesn't feel like sales. It's much more like evangelism, like you're
Yeah.
just like, I believe in this thing.
I think that's where I'm at now, with SM, and it's funny because, uh, I didn't mean to start this brand of business. I was actually just doing it for myself because actually it really came because of just that. I would sit there and analyze, data points. I have data on how many people would come to a workshop, how many mailers do we get, what's the response rate, how many people would show up to the office, and then, you know, did I scare them when I start talking about tactical money management and what's their management philosophy? And I would analyze different ways that the conversation would go. And of course, our industry has tons and tons of, what we call discovery meeting scripts. And you can't always stick to that. You got to cater it to whoever you're with all the time. So you're always thinking on your feet. But I really was trying to figure out a way to get over some of the tactical rebuttals and the market rebuttals, and people wanting to see or try you out rebuttal, because I got to a point where it was, I could no longer take the smaller account because I didn't have time. And it wasn't to be mean to somebody. It was just that when you have to put your time and effort into some of these larger cases, and case design, like that's a lot of time when you have a complex case with somebody who has some money behind them, and then all of a sudden this thing kind of developed. It was really it wasn't bizarre, but I think it was just kind of, I developed it, and I'm at the point again where I'm like, now if I'm talking to advisors or clients, I'm like, why would you not use us?
Mm-hmm.
I had one person who said, I don't know if I could handle it. I go, it's easy. Like, you need to learn this because you're going to be left behind. Like, I'm helping you so you can stay relevant for the next decade.
Right.
I mean,
but that belief in what you're doing is what, and to me, it's like, this is when I said like sales is a bad word sometimes and people don't want to be in sales, it's because people think about sales as selling something to somebody that they don't want or need. Right. And if you fundamentally believe that not only, whether they want it or not, they should want it and they do need it, and you just have that internal belief about what you're doing, like I said, then you're in the right business. And it doesn't feel like sales. It feels like you're explaining to somebody something about the world that they don't yet understand or know. And that's a rewarding experience, I think. And I've always found that. So, it's the case, I love the opportunity to convince somebody of something that I believe in. I had that like a little bit from my law school background and my my parents, I think a lot of kids and their parents, they say, this kid's going to be a lawyer because he's such a pain in the ass. He always argues with me. Like that was, but like, I actually liked the, the debate. I enjoyed the kind of the back and forth and exploring kind of like where they're coming from and how to get them, to see the world the way I do. And that to me that's my take on sales. Like I enjoy that back and forth. Now, does that always work? Some other people have different, outlooks on sales. And sales is much more about building a relationship with a person as opposed to like logically deconstructing an argument. I think you have to have both. I don't think you can just be like some friendly guy who's just gonna like, I love this guy, but like I don't understand or believe in anything he's selling because he hasn't explained it adequately. You got to have like a little bit of both. And anyways, I don't know how we got down the tangent of like deconstructing the sales strategy, but I find entrepreneurship, that's my background is entrepreneurship and startups. And I think, to be a great business builder, to be a great entrepreneur, you got to love sales.